This program is, in Africa, the World Bank itself now admits was a catastrophe. Because the idea was, well, you know, the state is very inefficient, and what we must have is the private sector. The private sector is very efficient. They come in, they organize. And so the state was shrunk. So the things that you need for agriculture, for example, were eradicated. Things like marketing boards, where you can sell your crop at a fair price, or extension services, where the workers who come out and help you, figure out how to farm, or input subsidy, access to water, these kinds of things. And instead, they're waiting for the private sector to come. The invisible hand will organize all this, they said. But of course, the joke is the invisible hand was nowhere to be seen. And that's this was the disaster, that you saw sort of the reducing funding in rural areas, and you saw economic catastrophe also in rural areas. And then one of the drivers of urbanization was the apocalypse in rural areas generated by these policies. So Via Campesina, so the World Bank was doing all this, and it was becoming clear pretty quickly that people were pissed off, and the World Bank needed cover. It needed legitimacy. And so they were like, well, we've done all this, but maybe now's a good time to consult. We'll have participation. So they try and find people who will say, yes, what you're doing is quite right. And the World Bank says, well, what we need is rural organizations. Is anyone here in a rural organization who will validate what we're doing?